if you think about, companies today, are expected to do something or the other, depending upon, where you are and, what business you are in and what's your reputation and what's your own belief and all of that. If you had to give some basic tips of just from the company's perspective, right? Let's just say, even if I'm a small company, a small entrepreneur, or let's say a mid-sized company where, I don't have a CSR team, or I don't have a big machinery who can go out and kind of tell what I've done. But, what can be some basic things that even all of us, from a small entrepreneur to the large company like Veolia, what can they do from a sustainability perspective? That's number one. And the second one, perhaps equally important or more important, would be that if you are a young generation watching this show, right? What tips are you going to advise to them, that what can they do, right? I mean, it is important. Or if we say that if they are expecting the firms and the citizens to do their part, what is their own part, right? In other words, how can they play their own part to make the earth more safer and the environment? So we come to that. So first part on the company, second on the Generation Z.
Sure. So see, either company is small or company is big. I think that's not important. What is important for smaller, middle size or bigger companies is to practice this sustainability. I think there are two approaches to do that. One is each of these companies should focus and drive the 3R concept: reduce, recover, and recycle. All the resources we should focus on that. Next thing what comes to my mind is each of these companies should focus on and drive to move from linear to circular economy. Now, what is linear? What do I mean by that?
Yeah, can you please explain? Yes.
Yeah. See, when you say linear economy, we have a lot of resources in the world. It could be air, it could be water. So what we are doing is we take those resources. Suppose we take water, industry uses water for their manufacturing, make products, and finally there is a waste, which is also water. This is a linear economy where we are not recovering the waste, we are not giving back to the environment. Right. What circular economy says, industries should take the resource, take the water, make their products, and then whatever is the waste, don't keep it as a waste, recover the waste, recycle the waste. That is what each company should focus on, the circular economy. This is the mission of Veolia. Veolia is resourcing the world, because that is how we look at the things. That is how we, plan and drive the things around. Now, on these lines, let me give you a couple of examples of how this sustainability practice is implemented by Veolia.
Sure.
Let's say at our plant at Hoskote, I'm sitting here, at Bangalore side. So one of the projects we did 3 years back is rain harvesting project.
Okay.
See, we at this site are consuming around 12 million liters of water each year. Okay. And after we implemented the rainwater harvesting project in 2021, we are able to save 45% of freshwater requirements. So around 5.5 million liters of water is coming from the rainwater harvesting.
Excellent.
The beauty of this is typical process, you get the fresh water from tankers, it's of high TDS. The rainwater being of low TDS, we're comparing 1,000 versus 100, you need less energy and you're able to recover more water. So this is something which we have done and implemented, and we are also planning to expand this by a factor of 2x, to use more and more of this rainwater for our utilization. Other thing which I would like to highlight is, solar power plant project we did. At our same site of Hoskote, we need around 570 megawatts of power each year. We have installed a solar plant of 50 kVA, that is 50 kilowatt ampere, That gives us 76 megawatt of power, which is around 15% of our total power. And we are planning to double it, so make it to a factor of 30%, so that we are dependent more on natural source, greener energy, instead of the conventional load. Now, what it helps, going for the solar power, there is less consumption of coal, there is less greenhouse gas emission, there is less impact on global warming. So to give you a number, by doing this thing, we are able to achieve a greenhouse gas emission by a factor of around 570 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. The third simple thing we did is, in terms of boiler, we need, okay, let's move to natural gas instead of diesel for boiler. This is also, helping to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 23 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. So these are Nikhil, these are some simple practice which we have implemented at our site. There is a capex, yes, there is a capex, but there is also ROI. If you see ROI, what we found is typically 3 or 3.5 years for such projects. So these are this initiative, irrespective of you are a small company, middle-sized company, bigger company. I think based on your capacity, somewhere we have to take the initiative and move towards the circular economy.